Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ask the Experts here on Talk Radio 1190, where we interview local professionals here in the beautiful Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, North Texas area to be exact, on their area of expertise, of course. I'm the host of the show, Matt Cather, and joining me on today's show, it's always great to have him on, Joe Cromwetter of Rescue Air. Before we get to Joe, if you want to reach out to Rescue Air for their services, you can find them online at rescueairtx.com. That's rescueairtx.com is the website you can find them at. Phone number, 972-964-2665. That's 972-964-COOL. You can call or text that number. Whatever one works for you is totally fine with them. Last but not least, Rescue Air Heating and Cooling YouTube channel. That's Rescue Air Heating and Cooling YouTube channel. Awesome resource of information there. Go in there, give a look, check things out. They got some customer testimonials. They got a little before and after, like behind the scenes of what's going on, a little bit of what they do. Get you a real good idea of everything Rescue Air is about on their YouTube channel. And, of course, if you miss a show here on Ask the Experts when we have Rescue Air on, well, they upload every show onto their YouTube channel as well. So if you want to catch up on what you missed, just go out to check their YouTube channel. It's Rescue Air Heating and Cooling. Joe, welcome to the show, man. It's great to talk to you again today.
Yeah, you too. How you doing?
All is well, man. I tell you what, how about that heat this week? It's we're in full effect, aren't we?
It's here.
It is here, man, and we got a lot to talk about in regards to some heating and cooling today with you guys. But before we get started, I always like to start things off. Why don't you kind of give a quick overview of what you guys are all about at Rescue Air?
We're whole home comfort, experts. We take a lot of pride in serving people and making sure that, we provide great solutions for people's needs. We do a lot with the heating and cooling. We also do the ductwork, insulation, indoor air quality, humidity needs, whether it's more humidity in the home or less. We just take a lot of pride in what we do and, like to serve people.
Total home comfort is key because I tell you what, we are in the thick of things here in Texas, and these guys do a fantastic job in, keeping everybody comfortable, especially during these extreme temperatures. And, we'll jump right into things, Joe. Obviously, this week, we had some hot days, but prior to that, it was 2 weeks of about straight rain, nonstop rain here in Texas. North Texas always getting those crazy weather, so kind of in regards to that, let's talk a little bit about, because obviously we're going to see plenty of that throughout the summer. What can people do about extra humidity with all the rain that we've had recently? What's the best way to combat that, I guess you could say?
Oh, man, that's a big question.
Uh-huh. Yep.
We can come in and look at the home. If people are having excess humidity issues, they're going to be higher than normal right now, obviously, with all the rain that we've had. But there's a lot of things that go into that. For one, how the system is tuned. The system might seem like it's cooling well, but if the refrigerant charge is not dialed in, it's going to have an effect on how well that system's able to remove humidity from the home. So that's something that can affect it. So, just having the system checked out and maintained properly can possibly, pick up something along those lines that can be addressed. We've talked in the past about ductwork.
Yep.
If there's, leaks in the ductwork where the duct system is not sealed properly, that's going to have an effect. If we're drawing in, that hotter, humid attic air, that's definitely going to have an effect. And in some cases, all of those things might be perfect in your home. And, maybe it's an older unit and it may be time to consider replacing and maybe going with a unit that has more dehumidification abilities than standard equipment. Or maybe your system is newer and everything's great and it just can't handle the amount of excess humidity that we have. And there are standalone dehumidification systems that are amazing at removing the additional humidity, and they help the air conditioner do its job better.
Why don't we talk about that a little bit? I know technology's always evolving, especially in your career field, always evolving. What are some of these capabilities? When you're talking in regards to dehumidification capabilities and different units? What does that really entail? How's that work?
So the main thing is the way we size our units. We have to oversize the unit to meet the demand when we get into those 100-plus degree temperature days. So if the system is one size, all it knows is on or off. Well, on a 100, 105-degree day, that's probably great, but when we don't have that type of heat demand, especially when we have the excess humidity from all of the rain, then that system is actually too big in the moment, and it won't run as long, and then it doesn't remove as much humidity. So the system continues to cycle on and off and just kind of comes on in these short intervals. Where technology has came in is the ability for these machines now to sense what the humidity is, being able to set a humidity target as a secondary range from your temperature target, and the machine have the ability to actually decrease its strength and capacity. So rather than shutting off quickly, it can ramp itself down in percentage and run as a smaller unit, making it more properly sized for your home at that moment, which is going to maximize its dehumidification abilities. It's going to maximize its efficiency. And also, with it not turning on and off so frequently, maximize its longevity. So it can make the home a lot more comfortable because we're able to remove the extra humidity without the system just simply turning on and off all day long. It's just ramping up and down, just like cruise control on your car when you're rolling through the hills.
And is this a fairly new technology, or has it been around for a little bit?
It's been around for a while. The newest version of it still has been around for a little while, which is variable.
Yeah.
But what they started, probably 20 years ago or so, was what's called two-stage.
Mm-hmm.
And two-stage systems, some of the old ones actually had two compressors. Other ones had compressors that basically have like a bleed valve. So when the system is not running at its full capacity, those systems run at 70% of their tonnage. So they're more adequately sized, for the majority or more time that we use them. And then they have the ability to go up to their full capacity when it's needed. So that helps the system, have longer run time, which is better, at maintaining temperatures rather than shutting on and off throughout the day. But then they've gotten to where they have variable technology. So think of it just as a volume knob, rather than, having one or even two set points where, single stage is like full blast volume. Mm-hmm. And then two stages, maybe a little bit more than medium, maybe medium high, then high. Variable speed air conditioning systems now have the ability to start some of them as low as 20%. So you can, the system can really dial in exactly where it needs to be to optimize the comfort and efficiency and dehumidification properties of that unit.
And before we kind of move along, in regards, a lot of people talk, when we talk about these things, a lot of people are wondering, well, what are the price range? You guys do financing with this type of stuff as well, too, correct? Or is that a flat rate?
No, we offer payment plans on everything.
That's
that
what
we
I
do.
thought.
Okay. As low, the most inexpensive repair, all the way up to the, best system on earth.
Mm-hmm.
We offer different payment plans that can fit any budget, to where we can help people get the things they want, maybe not, more than what they can maybe afford just in that second. So, whether it's a simple repair all the way up to the best air conditioner there is, there's payment plans that fit, pretty much any budget.
And payment plans is one thing, and then we also like to talk about your maintenance plan. How can your maintenance plan and how can maintenance in general help with somebody's current system, sir?
So, the air conditioners come from the manufacturers with a preset charge, but every home is different. the distance from the inside and outside unit is different in every home. And that extra line set, the copper pipes between the two units, has to be accounted for and has to be fine-tuned. So when we do our maintenance, there's specifications on the data tag of the equipment or on the inside panel on the outdoor equipment that tells us exactly how that machine should be running. There's temperature differences that we need to measure. It's not simply just put the gauges on and read the pressures. Beer can cold is something that I've never read in a manual. And we go by the manufacturer specs when we tune this equipment up so we can optimize how the machine is running. So there's cases where a machine might be down a little bit in refrigerant because it's not been charged properly, and it will still cool the home. The difference is when you charge it properly, now you can cool that home more efficiently, get extra humidity removal, and it's just going to help with the overall longevity and performance of the machine. Which is why when we do our maintenance, there's a checklist that shows what the specifications are and what the actual readings we're receiving are. And then if there's any discrepancies, that's how we build our options. So, we don't come out there with a blank sheet and just write a few things and say, hey, you need to buy this stuff. We're coming out there checking everything, and, we're looking for all green check marks. It's great when we can walk in and tell a homeowner, hey, this thing is working perfect. Everything's dialed in. Let's just keep it up and keep it maintained and see how long we can keep it like this.
Absolutely. And, when we talk about humidity, it's kind of just another X factor, really, that, there's so many variables that go into that process of finding out what's best for your home. Because like we said before, every home's different. And the cool thing about y'all's maintenance plan and the reason why people need to reach out to y'all and have you come out and explain these type of things, because it is a pretty thorough process, and it's something, like I said, the humidity just adds another factor. So that's why you need professionals like yourselves to come out and really do a thorough check to see what exactly people need to do or what is the problem, correct?
Most definitely. I mean, we're AC geeks. I mean, we talk about this stuff all the time. I mean, this is a big family of people working together. We talk outside of work. We get together outside of work and have little parties here and there. And I tell you, we just nerd out and we just talk about air conditioners and, how would this do better here or there? And, we really like to be able to help people and make differences in people's homes that, can be life-changing. You take somebody's home that they love that's had an issue that they've accepted because it's been that way for so long, because either it was just accepted and they didn't bring it up to somebody else, or maybe somebody in the past hadn't asked the right questions to get that information out of the homeowner, to where they realize that there's something that can be done about it. And there's a lot of times, I tell you, the biggest one that we run into is in regards to ducts and like master bedrooms or people that have theater rooms that are over top of garages where, the ductwork is not set up properly, or it might be not the right size. It would maybe be the right size for that bedroom if that bedroom was on a slab, but the ductwork's not the right size because the extra heat load from it being over the garage was not taken into consideration. And we've made so many changes to people's homes and got comfort that they've never had by asking these questions, figuring out where hot and cold spots are, where, in the house is uncomfortable, and being able to provide solutions to address those things. And, when you do that and you do it right, you can make a big difference, and people, start to fall in love with their house again.
And, you mentioned it, you said it earlier, you guys call yourselves, AC geeks, and that's awesome because, and it's something I wanted to point out to the ladies and gentlemen out there, listen, hey, the training you guys do is all the time. You're up to date, just nonstop training. I know you got a lot done during COVID. It kind of gave you all a little bit of extra time, but the training is nonstop, and you guys are always evolving, always changing, and wanting to kind of educate these customers out there on what you're learning and the new stuff in the AC and heating world, correct?
Definitely. And I mean, our guys we're excited, when we can make differences and that make a real difference for people. I mean, it's a really good feeling. That's, like we say all the time, ladies and gentlemen, serving ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, man.
we like to be able to serve. It feels really good when you can walk into somebody's home and fix something that's broken, make a difference, especially like on a maintenance, just by having the right conversation, when you have the right knowledge on how to address things and pull up things that people didn't even realize, could be addressed, and to make that, improvement for them. It's great. It's a really great feeling. It's good to be able to help people. And it's good to be able to make a difference.
No, I totally get it. I mean, these are people's homes. These are, the biggest purchase of life, and to be able to, the goal is to be able to live comfortably. And if you guys make that a lot better on your customers out there, I know they definitely appreciate it. So we're going to take a quick break here on Ask the Experts. We're talking with Joe Kronwetter of Rescue Air. Real quick, 972-964-2665. That's 972-964-COOL. That's the phone number you can find them at. The website, though, it's rescueairtx.com. That's rescueairtx.com. We got a lot to get into on the other side of things. Stay tuned. This is Ask the Experts here on Talk Radio 1190. We'll be right back on the other side of things with Rescue Air.
Rescue Air are your experts in home comfort with emergency and same-day service available. At Rescue Air Heating and Cooling, they provide fast and affordable HVAC services. Fully licensed, bonded, and insured, their technicians are equipped to take on any job, no matter the size or complexity. Unlike other HVAC companies that charge by the hour, we guarantee upfront pricing by the job. You will always know what you're paying for. And with our variety of products, your cost and quality requirements will be met. Your home's HVAC system is a complex home necessity that should only be trusted with a professional. Don't overheat this summer. Keep your home cool and comfortable by contacting Rescue Air Heating and Cooling. Don't Google for an HVAC professional. Contact Rescue Air now at 972-450-9517. That's 972-450-9517.
Welcome back. Everybody's joining their Saturday morning. This is Ask the Experts here on Talk Radio 1190. We're talking with Joe Kronwetter of Rescue Air. Pleasure having him on, and it's been a great topic of conversation today. Before we get back to him, real quick, 972-964-2665. That's 972-964-COOL. You can call or text that number. Either one's totally fine. It's rescueairtx.com. That's rescueairtx.com. The website you can find them at. And last but not least, YouTube channel. It's Rescue Air Heating and Cooling on YouTube. Rescue Air Heating and Cooling. Great YouTube channel they got there. A little bit of everything. Kind of gives you an idea of what they're doing. Customer testimonials. You miss Ask the Experts? Well, they upload every show to their YouTube channel. So if you want to catch up what you miss, tune into that. Check out their YouTube channel. Either way, it's a great thing they got going on over there. Okay. Let's jump right back into it, Joe. We talked a little bit about it recently, but I'm glad that we're gonna kind of go back to it. Equipment shortages. It's been an issue for you guys for the past couple months, I believe. It's been an issue for a lot of people in different industries. What's going on with that in y'all's world?
It's still real. I tell you, we offer a lot. So I think that definitely works in our favor. We have a lot of different options, and we've been able to get things done for people in a pretty timely manner. With the contacts that we have, and again, with providing a lot of options. So we've been able to make things happen. There's definitely shortages. We're getting to the point where people might not have the availability for the particular unit that they're interested in based on the size. So, I mean, you've got a variety of tonnages and then a variety of systems, and they're not just all available across the board like they normally are. So, we've been getting creative in some cases where, certain things aren't available. But we're doing everything we can to make stuff happen. I've not had anything with us take us more than, a week to receive equipment.
That's
And in
good.
most cases, we're still doing next day installs or the day after. Like I said, we're just getting creative with how we're putting things together.
Mm-hmm.
And again, in some cases, people are just, they might not have the option available that they want, so they're having to choose maybe a system below what they would like or one that's even better. So we've still been able to make things happen. We just don't have the full availability to where people can choose 100% exactly what they want without waiting in some cases.
And like I mentioned earlier, guys, if there's anybody listening out there and you're thinking about you needing to replace a unit and you kind of get worried about hearing that, well, the good news is if you do have to upgrade a little bit more, maybe go a little bit more higher end, hey, they got payment plans, they got a finance plan, so there's always options to make this easy on all your customers, which is great in itself. Question for you. Is it units just in general, or are you seeing that with parts as well? It's just kind of a shortage overall, or is it just a specific thing?
I tell you, there's not much rhyme or reason to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the manufacturers, they're just a little short-staffed for one.
I get it.
And then you look at just the shortages across the country and every single thing we're buying.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, they have to keep switching up, how they're building the equipment based on what materials they've got coming in. You have certain groups of equipment that take maybe this bunch of materials, and the plant's tooled one way, and then you got to retool and then do a different way to do another part of equipment because they're not fully staffed and they don't have all of the materials come in as they normally would. So manufacturers, they're doing their best, playing hopscotch, changing things up here and there to maximize their production to give, the most options, possible. And then, again, having options as far as what we offer. There's some people out there, some companies that don't offer a lot of the higher end equipment. Some companies only offer the lower end. We offer everything. So, we can bridge the gap that some other people might not be able to with other options. And I tell you, if you're in a position where you want one type of unit and it's not available and you have to go up, I don't know anybody that after they had a better air conditioner would sit there a little bit down the road going, oh, man, this really stinks that we had to get this amazing air conditioner that gave us the best comfort we've ever had, the best humidity, and the best utilities. But if
I think in the end, they will be smiling that they made that decision.
They'll be happy.
Yeah.
What would stink is if you already had a better air conditioner
and you had to downgrade.
You didn't have the availability to keep the same, and you actually had to go down.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the kicker. If you had to go down in the type of air conditioner just based on availability, that would really stink. And if you're in a position where you have to have air because it's ridiculously hot, and you need something, an air conditioner is not something you buy for a year and go change it out. I mean, this is something you're going to have for the next decade and a half. So yeah, definitely, if you know your system's age, if you're experiencing higher utility bills, higher humidity, if the system just seems to run longer than it used to, even though it's the same temperatures, give us a call. We'll come check it out. It might be an issue of maintenance. Mm-hmm. Things might need to be cleaned. Certain things, maybe some small parts might need to be addressed. Refrigerant might need to be fine-tuned. Or maybe the system is just really getting up there. Yeah. There's a variety of tests that we can do that can check the overall condition, and we can give a pretty good, assessment and, give people some really good information so they can kind of get the whole picture of how things are running. A big tool that I love is our megometer, which basically tests the integrity of the compressor. And, if you go and you have, say, a refrigerant leak, we always check that compressor as well with that megometer just to make sure that if we do a repair on the refrigerant side, that the compressor is not already stressed out. And then, you might have a soon failure after you fix something else. So, we provide a really good, thorough overview so people get an idea of the overall condition and try to give the most realistic expectations of the current status of their equipment and, also with replacement.
Well, if anything you learn from this, and I know customers out there understand everybody in, pretty much has the idea that this is a problem for many industries. But that's just more incentive, in my opinion, and we got about a minute left, to be on your maintenance plan and stuff like that, because it's being proactive, just in case, if you're worried about something, get it checked out. And if worst case scenario, it's something that can be dealt with in maybe a couple weeks, a month, and then that gives you plenty of time to get the parts or whatever it might be in, and there is no problem. So that's just another reason to go out there and be proactive with your maintenance.
Most definitely. I think this year is more important than any other years in the past with maintenance based on that shortage. If we can, change some small parts that maybe are showing signs of fatigue before that smsmall part takes
Joe,
out a bigger.
We gotta get out of here, man. It's a pleasure talking to you. All right.
You too.
964-964-2665. That's 974-96-265. That's RescueAirTX.com, guys. We'll do it again with them next week. All right.